Hi everyone, my name is Leanne and I'm going to tell you about how I passed the PAX exam. So I wrote down a couple of things for you guys that will help you on the exam. I studied for the exam for a month and a half, and I went to the library every single day that I could, and I studied and I studied and I studied, and I just could not stop studying. So, I have a couple of questions. Well, I have a couple of words from word knowledge, and I have the passages. I remember them. And I have some science and some Quizlets. So first, I'm going to go over verbal. Verbal has 60 questions, and you have to answer them in 40 minutes. I had a lot of time left because the passages were quite easy. I had a lot of time left though with the passages. I think I finished very early and I had like 10 minutes left. So I really wish I would have took time with my word knowledge though. I rushed through it, but the passages were very, very easy for me. So for word knowledge, the words that I remember was consolidate, chide, encourage, sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong, priority, coordination, apex, innovation, condiment, vernacular, obscure, which is remote, toward, which can mean scorching or hot. I had devious, I had conjugate, I had obsolete, I don't know if I'm saying it right, which means monolith. And I had coroner, which conducts inquest, and I had insolent, which can mean rude, placable or placeable. I am so sorry. I'm not really so good. I don't even know how I passed. But I had placeable, which means like it's PLACEBO. Can't believe I don't know how to pronounce this. And it's like medications, like fake medications. And I had lunar, which means the moon, and I had penetrated. It was some other words that I had too, but I forgot. So then with the passages, I had a story about James P. Allison and someone last name Hanjo. And it was about like Nobel Prize winners and them fighting cancer and continuing research for cancer. Also, the next passage that I had was about income inequality, and it was like, what is the best title for this? And I'll put sociologists debate over theories, things like that. And it talked about like crime rates in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and questions like that. Then I had a passage about measles and anti-vaxxers or something like that, and those people which do not believe in vaccines, and just questions about the measles. That was actually a very easy passage. And another easy passage that I had was about the poison cane toads, and we know that cane toads were toxic. And also they said like that the government didn't want to buy things or something to get rid of them. So they got other species to get rid of the cane toads, like eat them, I guess. And then we know that cane toads were introduced in 1940s, things like that, to Australia. Then I had something about the Beat Generation. It was about like Jack Curlow or something like that, and how he was the notable author of something of the Beat Generation, and also the Beat Generation borrowed ideas from the Lost Generation. And then I had something about the Tinker laws about free speech and desegregated schools and things like that. Also, I made some flashcards This is how many flashcards I studied for the month, and some more off of Quizlet. But I used Kayla _Foster 80. I used her Quizlet, and it really helped me a lot. But for like the verbal, I wouldn't say use the practice exam on there. I say it would be a waste of money to buy the verbal practice exam, because it didn't really help me a lot at all. But those are the words that I remember off my test, and I will put down the Quizlet below, the Quizlet that I used to kind of help me. Now we're going to move on to math. So math was just basic fractions, percentages. It asked about prime numbers, and if you know, like, to do like mixed numbers and stuff, and you know, like 5, 3/2, and then you know you gotta multiply, and then you gotta add, and then divide that number by that denominator, numerator, whatever, that stuff. It was very easy. Just know how to do your percentages and your fractions, and it had a couple of questions about conversions, but I went through the practices. I went through the percentages quickly, and I came back to the conversions. I had like 2 minutes left on my exam, and I had like 5 more questions. So with math, you got to be a little bit quick, but don't be too quick, because you don't want to get the wrong answer. So science, I got a lot of stuff on science that I wrote. And also for science, please, on the NLN website, please buy the practice PAX science. It will really freaking help you. Now, I would say from the practice packs, I had probably like about 10, 15, almost 20 questions that were on my exam. So yes, so I'm going to tell you what I had on my science, and I don't understand how I even scored a 60 on science, and I rushed through that thing because I had to pee. Sorry, but I had to go to the bathroom, and I rushed through it. So yeah, so for my exam, it had lots of questions on the food chain. It was talking about like primary consumers, and I believe plants are primary consumers. It was talking about dissecting a frog that's dead. It was like, does it cause like problems with their stomach or some type of, I don't know what was going on with that, but just know to look up some things about dissecting a frog that is dead. And then it talks about high blood pressure a lot. I had a lot of questions about high blood pressure. So it was like high blood pressure, if a doctor gives you a diuretic pill, I think that's a water pill, and it had choices like increased urine and some type of absorption of pumping, high blood pressure, things like that. I had graphs as well. They were quite hard. They were hard graphs. Some of them were common sense. I had about 10 graphs. And then it had questions like which laboratory turns starch blue black, and it said if a student shouts, where nervous systems react. I picked sympathetic nervous system. That's what I picked for that one. Because if sympathy, sympathize, or whatever, you react. So that's why I picked that one. And then it had questions about Charles Darwin, Mendel, and then it had diffusion, the diffusion of water through a semi-permeable membrane. They had choices like osmosis, active transport, things like that. And then it had scientific names of an organism, which is, genus, don't know if I'm saying it right, sorry, genus and species. And then it had question about the code of a gene is delivered to a protein. produced in a region of a cell like mRNA, tRNA. I didn't know the choice for that one. And then it had a graph on the small intestine, and it asked like, what is number 4 of this? It was on the small intestine, and it was like fatty acid, questions like that. That was the choices for that one. And then it had questions about quantities having both magnitude and direction are called what? As the angle of a ray of light striking a mirror increases, the angle of reflection will do what? It had wavelength, talking about high pitches if someone screams. It talked about compounds and elements, organization, gotta look, tissues, organ system, then the organism. It had a question like that. Then the Mendel's law. Then it had about the synthesis reaction equation and I had 2 questions on the equation for HCI. I don't know what HCI is, but I had questions about HCI, what it was, and if it was in an equation, how would you put it? And the Bazine family, I had a question about a sexual hormone females produce, and I had something about objects, dealing with mass, and then I had something about vector. I think that deals with force, I think. Then I had something about the eye, which is the retina and the genotype, and also the placenta. I'm sorry if I'm going so fast, but you know, you can slow down the video. But I used also Kayla _Foster 80. I used her Quizlets, and her Quizlets helped me a lot. When you take this test, just know that you got this, and you're going to pass, especially all this information I got you, because it's literally almost everything that I could remember. I took a test today, so I was like, I'm gonna make everybody a Quizlet. I'm gonna make everybody a video so everybody can pass, and try to hurry and take this exam because they are going to be changing it next semester, I believe. But just believe in yourself, do what you gotta do, go into that exam, taking that exam, pray first. When you take that exam, don't worry, don't panic, because if you panic, you might as well just not take it. If you have this feeling in your stomach is locking up, don't take it. Wait, because you don't want your stress and your nerves. And you studied for months for this exam, but if your stress and your nerves get to you, you're going to forget everything on that test. And with that test, too, make sure you have a good night's sleep before it. Because if you don't have a good night's sleep, you're going to forget things. You're going to be like, oh, I studied this, but I forgot. Just make sure that you have a good night's rest. Like this morning when I did wake up at 5. I went to sleep at 10. And I listened to Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, all this type of stuff, and just dancing in the mirror and just happy. You got to be happy. And it don't matter if you fail it this time, you're going to always pass the next time, or you're going to do greater every time that you take it. Just believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, then you're not going to pass this test. You're not going to get into nursing school. And I believe everybody, and I just want everyone to do good, and that's why I made this video, because I really want this video to help somebody, because I know people struggle in life, and some people don't have time to study this, but people that like work or somewhat or have kids, just take like at least an hour. I wait till my kid go to sleep, and take at least an hour or something a day to just go over things. But I really advise you to get the practice test off the NLN websites and Quizlet. I have the red book. I didn't really like it because everything in the red book I was getting wrong, but on the practice test on NLN website I was getting it right. So I highly suggest getting the math and science though. But I hope everyone have a great day, and good luck on the exam. Bye.